guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sarah, and today I'm going to show you guys how I do ear posting and how I make up the posts. Now, with having 4 Dobermans, I often have a problem with our youngest with doing his ears. The dogs like to play, and almost daily, if not every other day, I have to change his ears because the other dogs will pull off his postings. So I'm going to show you guys a quick and easy way to do it quickly and so you don't get extremely frustrated. So first I start with 5/8 inch backer rod. So this is just the foam rod. I have 1 inch vet wrap, which is kind of debatable. Some people don't encourage this, and it's really easy to do damage to the ears, so you have to be really careful when you use vet wrap because it stretches and it's really easy to make it too tight, which is really bad, and I'll explain that in a little bit. So I have the 1 inch vet wrap, I have micropore tape, and then I have your standard clear packing tape. So first what I do is I usually stick this down in the dog's ear to get a good measurement. But I do this fairly often, and so I just kind of eyeball it. Let me grab my scissors here. So I eyeball it, and I know that I usually make it about this long here. So I'm going to take and I'm going to measure them so they're the same length, and then cut again. So now I have 2 of these rods that are both about the same length. So first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the clear tape. So the reason that we use this clear tape is if you look at the backer rod, it's curved and it's soft. It bends easy. But when you use the packing tape, I'll show you what happens with it. So I don't make it as long as the backer rod, and I make sure that at least on one end, I have a solid 1/2 inch, if not more, like 3/4 of an inch even. And then I set it right on the edge of the clear packing tape, and then I make sure it's straight, and then I roll it up in it. Now look, see how straight and solid that is? It doesn't really bend. But the end that we leave blank that doesn't have the tape on it, if you can see here, this whole section does not have any tape on it. This is the portion that we put down in the ear so it doesn't irritate them. So we'll do that with both rods. And you don't even have to get it to the top either if you know that your rod is longer than what your ear is going to be. So look, straight. So now what we're going to do is we're going to use the micropore tape. This is a fabric surgical tape, so it's not really going to irritate their ears much. And what we do is we take right at the edge where the other plastic tape is, we cover it. So that way this soft fabric-y tape covers over the edge of where that hard plastic tape's going to be. I wrap it all the way around one time, and as soon as I get to the cross there where it meets, I flip the roll over, and then I put it up backwards so the sticky side of the tape is now facing outwards. And then I wrap that most of the way up. So now I have 1 post. I'll do the other rod the exact same way. So we'll start right where that plastic, the tape, meets that backer rod, and make sure we cover that edge. And then spin it over or turn it over. And then I put that tape wrap it right around the whole rod all the way up, just like the last one. We are done. It's pretty quick. Once you get the hang of it, it only takes a few seconds to wrap one of these suckers up. So there's our rod. So my husband and I are actually going to be out of town here this next week, and so I am going to do up several of these rods so that our kids can go ahead and wrap. We've trained them how to wrap ears. So we're going to have several of these handy because with the dogs playing, especially both puppies, they really get rough and they like to chew on each other's ears and bite at them, and they tug on them, so they come out actually quite easy. And once they get a little wet with saliva, the tape isn't sticky anymore anyway, so it just turns into kind of a mess, and then they want to eat the rods, and we really don't want that to happen. So I'm going to make up several of these rods so the kids don't have to worry about making these up. But it just takes a few seconds per rod, so it's fairly simple. And now I have 2 sets. I'm going to do one more set. I'll make it a little bit longer here. Oops. Make it about the same length. Again, that's 5/8 backer rod. I'll go ahead and link all of the supplies that I'm using. I'll put all that down in the description below, so if you want to go check it out. I buy everything on Amazon. So it just gets shipped right to my door and I don't really have to worry about it. Okay, so getting right at the edge and roll it. I am running out of micropore tape, so I'm going to go get another roll. So this here is that tape, that micropore tape. It's made by 3M. So it comes in a box of 12, which we go through it fairly quickly, so I just go ahead and buy the whole box. So, and if you're watching one of my last videos, I really don't like wasting tape, so I will use it right down to the edge. So again, right on the edge of that packing tape. As soon as it meets, I twist it over and I wrap the rest of the post. You gotta make sure that you overlap it so it sticks to itself, because the back's not sticky. So otherwise it won't stay on. So too, with that the back's not sticky, is sometimes if it's the same day I post the dog's ears and the puppies are playing and they pull a peg out, if the peg is still in good shape, all I'll do is I'll take my scissors and I'll find the top where the packing tape is, and I'll take my scissors and I'll just clip right underneath the edge of that micropore tape, and I'll slice it all the way down, pull off that tape, and I'll put new tape on it. That way I'm not wasting the whole peg. I just have to change out the tape. So that saves a little bit too. All right, one more and that should be good for the time that we're gone. It's always nicer on a new roll. A new roll seems to come right off. Super easy. All right. Here we go. There's our pegs. Now there are a couple different ways that we can post ears. I like this way for posting just because it's faster. And it's pretty simple. So what I do is I take the end of the post, like what I showed you, the part that's going to go into the ear, and I push it down fairly firmly so it's down into this bell. And then I push while pulling up on the ear to make the ear nice and snug while lining the post up with the straight edge of the ear. Now Samson here has a show crop, or what's called a show crop. So his ears are a little bit longer. And then I just kind of flatten out his ear on the post to make sure that it's nice and stuck. It sticks to it nicely. And then I measure out my tape just by pretty much eyeing it out. It's about the length from the middle finger to my elbow. And then on the inside of the ear, I start the tape about right here, and I stick it to the tape here so it's sticky. And then you always go in over the head. I pull this tape around, this vet wrap, and I make sure to pull it snug but not too snug. We don't want to cut off that circulation. It is a two-man job, obviously. But once we get past that first time around, then it doesn't need to be too snug at all. It's just, I basically just make sure that it's wrapped around and just tight enough for it to be flat. So I'm really not pulling at all. But I make sure that it's overlapping right through here, because this tape doesn't stick to their fur, it sticks to itself. And that's one thing I like about it. Other methods use athletic tape, and when you pull the athletic tape off, it really will pull their hair out, and I don't care for that too much. So just squeeze it on to make sure that is sticking to itself. And look at that, perfect. All right, now Ella here is gonna be doing the other ear for us. So how are we gonna do it?
So you stick it down in here.
Yep. Yep, make sure the tip's always covered because
it could ruin the tip.
Yep, it could make the blood in their ear pool at the tip and get all swollen, and that would be bad. So if you like this video, please go ahead and give us a thumbs up. Hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm so other viewers can see this, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll give Ella a round of applause for helping us out on that ear. So that is how we do our ear posting with vet wrap and backer rod. All right, there you have it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.